this our second boarding school summit, we welcome back our student panellists, though this year we have two. Ruby Riethmuller from Womankind is directing these panels, and we have students from right across Australia joining Ruby for these great, insightful discussions. We're really looking forward to hearing what the students have to say about their experience of boarding school.
I'm Ruby. I was a boarder at Askham School a few years ago now, but I would love everyone to go around and say the school that they're at the moment and where you call home. So for me, I grew up in Wagga Wagga. G, did you want to go first?
Sure. I'm currently at Pymble Ladies College in Sydney, and I'm from Nyngan, which is better known for Duck Creek and the Big Bogan. So
I love that. Duck Creek races all the way. Stunner, what about you?
I'm from Calrossy Anglican School in Tamworth, and I grew up in Barraba.
Amazing. And what about you, Paddy?
I go to Scots All Saints in Bathurst, and I live in Warren.
Love that. And what about you, Louise?
I go to Loreto and Normanhurst, and I'm from Griffith.
Wow, so very diverse group here. I love that. So we really want to talk about, I guess, the boarding culture in the country culture in boarding schools. So in your opinion, what kind of makes boarding a really unique experience for the young people who come from the country?
Yeah, I think it's just like the diverse like range of where people are from, like all over New South Wales, especially like the girls who are like really far out, and then we've also got like city girls as well, and then we've got girls from like in town, so it makes it just really diverse, and there's like someone for everyone as well, so that's really good.
well, I guess it's also, I know in my school, I came from somewhere where the whole school in total had 110 kids. And then I came to Pymble and they've got 2,500 girls, which is more people than what I've got in my entire town, let alone my school. So
I'm the same as that. I went to a school with 60 kids, and coming here, it's like, oh my goodness. But the school was so welcoming, and it wasn't hard to fit in whatsoever. And everyone's in the same boat. It's just, yeah, very fair playing ground.
yeah, everyone's sort of in the same boat. You all kind of, I guess you kind of connect over that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Coming from a place where we only had sort of 80 kids throughout the whole school, coming to a place where there's sort of 90 in your year, it's a pretty big jump from this to that sort of thing.
Yeah, huge jump. And are there any kind of traditions that the boarders have at your school, or anything that makes being a boarder really unique at your school in specific?
Yeah, at Loreto we have like commitment weekends every term where we all stay in, and then like once a year all the boarders, we do like a cruise around Sydney Harbour, and we like dress up in pink. It's really fun, and we always do like discos, and like we have theme dress ups and like house dinners and stuff. It's really fun.
That sounds so nice. It sounds like, you know, sisterhood is a big part of being a boarder.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Borders Week, and we have Borders vs Day Girls competitions, and we usually have a closed weekend. And we all celebrate with the Pymble community. They come down from the church, and we have brunch with them, and it's always a good chat to have with them about, you know, where you're from, what you're doing at school, and that sort of thing. And Borders vs Day Girls, it's always really a big competition because we all think that we're better.
Yeah, and how do you go? Who usually comes out on top?
Well, we're all, half of the Pymble First basketball team is our boarders, so we usually come out on top for basketball. And swimming, we definitely don't ever cheat. But we get the pink flippers on, and we have a good time, and we put up a good fight. But you know, we do our best.
That's all that matters. Love that. What about you, Paddy?
Yeah, every year we sort of try to get a Borders vs Dacians rugby game going. Yeah, usually Borders come out on top because we're better than the day students. But
Controversial, but I absolutely agree.
yeah.
And what about in the boarding house? Do you feel like you have more opportunity to do extracurricular activities? I think when I was a day student back in Wagga, I kind of just did the routine netball, touch. But when I went to Askham as a boarder, I was doing drama and all of these things that I probably wouldn't have put my hand up for had I not lived on campus and had, I don't know, friends that were more keen to give those things a go. Can anyone resonate with kind of doing more extracurricular activities at boarding?
Yeah, you definitely have a lot more time, like because you have a schedule and everything, like your dinner is at the same time, you have your prep at the same time, you can have commitments and work that in, and it's just so much easier to manage your time. Even if you're terrible at managing time, you still have that schedule where like you can still have your independence and grow as a person as you get older, but you'll always have that schedule, but you can still have commitments.
I agree. I totally agree. It does
Yeah.
make it a lot easier when you've got that set routine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know at home there were options for girls when we were at home was always swimming or netball. And then you came to Pymble and it's, they've got a really wide variety of sports and activities that you can do. And I know that they always finish kind of late, and that sort of discouraged the day girls from doing them. Like I do music and it finishes at 6:30 and I can just walk back to the boarding house and I'm already there. And that really sort of made it easier for me to do that sort of music and drama and try half the sports that they have. So it's always easier when, you've got that close proximity and you can just
and you also have mates to go with you to the same like sport. We've got a bus that takes us everywhere, and you can get a group of friends to go together just to
exactly.
go and play netball somewhere.
We always
have a group of friends to go with.
Yeah, we always have a boarders team. So
yeah.
And they just run a mini bus up there for when we have sport. So
yeah.
Yeah, again with like the teams and stuff, like I find like coming to boarding, like there's so many more sports that we can do here. And I love the like again what the girls are saying, like having like we do like peer teams and it's usually just like all boarders and we just like come together. We do like I do like basketball and like netball and stuff, and we all just do like so many teams. It's so fun together. Just having like go out and just having a go and stuff, and it's really good. Yeah.
That's so nice. And what about, have you hosted day students at your, farm or home in the country? And what tends to be their favorite part about coming out to the country and being immersed in, I guess, your life as a boarder?
So I'm gonna have I haven't had my friends out yet, but we're gonna do it soon. But I went to my other friend's house with our day girlfriends, and she has like a lot of horses and stuff. And my day girlfriends just like absolutely loved it. They found it so fun. We just like went riding and stuff, and we just like went around her farm, and they were just like absolutely amazed by it, and it was so nice.
Yeah, I brought my day student friends out last summer, and they just loved it. Just the sunsets and the activities that we get up to. It's just so different from what they get up to here in town.
Yeah, I know my friends, they all live in mansions in the city. And so when I take them out home and I've got my little house out, 30 kilometers western England, they're all a bit like, whoa. And then, we take them out on the bikes and we go and we chase the cows, and it's always a lot of fun because it's just so completely different to their experiences that they're just like, what? Because my farm, it's huge and you can just look out there and you can just keep driving for an hour and you'll get to the other end of the farm. So it's just completely different for them.
Yeah, and like day girls, they find it's like the country's so weird. Like I told one of my friends that there was no trains where I was from, and she just thought it was like the craziest thing ever. And I was like, if you took a train, you'd get the whole train would be like the length of like my town. She just thought it was so weird. She's like, as if you don't have trains. I was like, yeah, you don't have any.
Yeah, no, they find it hilarious when they see a kangaroo or an emu and they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. And I'm like, well, you know what? I grew up seeing those every day of my life. And
it's such a different world.
Yeah, it was a shock to me coming here and everyone being amazed at seeing a chicken or a cow. And I was like, well, I grew up seeing those every day. So
yes, it's certainly a novelty for, the city kids to come out to the country. And what about for you when you're at boarding school and you might be missing home or missing the country? What are some things that you can do to feel more connected to home or to, I guess, life on the land?
I guess come down to the ag plot.
Yeah, I love that. You're in the perfect spot for this call.
Yeah, because we have a heap of sheep and we have a goat over there. I don't know where he's gone, but he's usually around. And we have a heap of chickens and all that sort of thing. And it's always, I don't know, it's just a nice sort of, it's separated from the school. So it's just a little slither of home in school. So
Yeah, you can usually just head up to the ag block and there's no building. It's like you're back at home with all your animals and everything. It's refreshing.
Yeah, sometimes I just like to talk to like my other friends from out to the country, and sometimes we just like bring up funny things like the day girls have said, and we just like have a bit of a laugh about it because we find it funny, and that just like helps us remind us like the country and just like home and stuff.
Yeah, I always just FaceTime home if I'm missing my dog or something, and my mum will, put my dog on the FaceTime with her, and I don't know, it's just a sense of home.
Yeah, that's so nice. And I think, as you said, talking to other boarders who have grown up in the country really helps. I guess, do you share a lot of stories or a lot of kind of similar upbringings? I remember when I was in the boarding house, we'd all have similar stories from like dreading swimming lessons because, I don't know, it was just like so different to the swimming lessons that kids know here. Are there things, stories that you talk about in the boarding house that make you feel connected to other country boarders?
Yeah, there's always on most properties, there's always different sort of dilemmas or things that we all go through that we all find pretty funny, or a situation comes up and we can all relate to it, sort of thing.
I don't know, just talking about how the girls in the boarding house who aren't from country places, how they start screaming when they see a spider, and then we're here and we just brush it off. That's always just a point of contact where we're just like, well, bugs aren't scary.
Yeah, or just talking about your weekend, or if you haven't been home for the weekend, like whenever you were last home, sharing stories and talking among each other about what you got up to. Bonding.
Yeah.
That's so nice. And I guess for young people who are considering moving to boarding school from a really, regional country town, maybe they've been at a school with 50 or 60 people and they're not used to going to a huge school. What would be everyone's like one piece of advice to make that transition maybe a little bit easier, or to just reassure them that, it is quite a big move and all the emotions that come with that are normal? So does anyone have any top tips that you would have for someone starting at boarding school?
You will be friends with a lot of people and your friends will change all the time, but there is always more people around you. And yeah, there's always change amongst friend groups, and you always have staff members, on your side, and they've seen it many, many times. What's happened in year 7, all the emotions, all the friends. But at the end of the day, once you get to year 12, you may be best friends with your worst enemy, which was such a big issue in year 7. You'll forget all about it and you'll laugh back on it in year 12.
Oh, sorry. I think you just gotta remind yourself to just that it's okay. And like, even though you're in such like a big environment, and you'll be really nervous, that like it does like get really much better, and that you just gotta take on like every opportunity you can find, and that you'll meet people and you'll have such a great time no matter what.
Yeah, just don't be scared to just branch out and make new friends, because I've got friends from year 7, but I've also got friends that I made this year. And it's always, yeah, as you said, it's always changing. And just don't be scared to, move and find new people, because you're changing and they're changing. And sometimes you grow apart, but just it's okay to find other people.
Yeah, be open to change. Don't be scared to try new things and make new friends. It's not going to be the end of the world if it doesn't work out.
Gosh, you're all very wise. I feel like anyone needs that advice. Be open to change, stay open-minded, and know that as you grow, your friendships will change. I think there's such valuable pieces of information, and probably to just keep everything in perspective. As you said, a friendship fight in year 7 is not going to be the end of the world. So I love that. And what would you all say is going to be the number one, or you can say a couple of things that you will miss the most about being a boarder?
Being around the girls all the time.
Yeah.
Just like walking out into the common room and making a piece of toast and someone's laying on the couch watching TV and just having a good old yarn. That's going to be a big thing I'm going to miss, having someone there all the time.
Yeah, just being able to go to their room, and when you need to talk to someone, or if you've got, I don't know, an issue and you just need to talk it over, just being able to go over to them and talk it over. It's changed. That's not what I'm used to. Because
Yeah. Oh, sorry. And I think just like the reassurance of knowing that like someone's always going to be there, like no matter like what you're feeling, like I think I'll really miss that, and just being able to yeah, just go see anyone, like, and there's so many girls as well. You can just go see anyone for like any problem you're having. Yeah, I think I'll really miss that.
And when you want to go out or something like that and you're just looking for someone to go with, there's always going to be someone in the boarding house. But like after school, it's not always going to be like that.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to miss most about like when I leave sort of thing is just being able to, wake up and be living with my best mates and being able to play sport and being able to cook with them and just being able to be ourselves and be kids.
I definitely think you're all spot on there. The camaraderie of boarding is something that has never been matched, I guess, in my years since then, even going to college, at uni. It's so different to being, I guess, a teenager navigating that wild journey with like 100 or 200 brothers or sisters. I think it's so unique. Well, thank you so much for all of the advice and wisdom that you shared with us. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure all of the young people and families that watch this will as well. But yeah, if you have anything else you want to say, feel free. Otherwise, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.